Tomorrow, there's every reason to believe that the fate of New York City could possibly be determined because we got a really important election going on. A number of great candidates, also Andrew Cuomo. So it's consequential in a lot of different ways. And we're gonna be talking about that in a few different ways. We wanted to bring in someone with about as much information about the race as is possible. And that would be someone running in the race. So we have a candidate, former state assemblyman, also served as vice chair of the DNC. Michael Blake joins us now. Michael, how's it going?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Am I supposed to lie? Not well with the news and everything.
The world's on fire right now. We got a clown as a president.
We do.
It's so yeah. I keep it real. That's why we have this conversation.
Well, look, so I wanted to talk to you not only about your own candidacy, but also it's a complicated election. I mean, it's got ranked choice, which I advocate for, but a lot of people who are going to be watching this video don't necessarily understand exactly how that works or how it shapes campaign strategy. Like, for instance, I know that you recently cross-endorsed with another candidate in the race. There's a lot of strategy and deal making and things like that. So tell me a little bit about how the race is going and how you see tomorrow actually playing out when the vote happens.
Well, first, I just appreciate what y'all do every single day. So full stop. Much love, y'all. So for those I mean for the first time, I'm Michael Blake. I'm running for mayor in New York City. Born and raised in New York City, public schools K through 12. Worked for President Obama, was trained by President Obama. I was one of 10 people he trained in 2006 how to run campaigns. I served in the Assembly for 6 years. I worked for President Obama for almost 7 years. And now we're running because we want to change the game. Eric Adams has been a disaster. Andrew Cuomo has no business coming back into office. I've been real clear on how do we address affordability in New York City, ending credit scores when it comes to rent, home ownership applications, actually increase income limits, have 1,000 mental health professionals instead of the police for mental health crisis, civics, financial literacy, and ban ICE. We've been real clear about that. Tomorrow is an important day. Tomorrow's primary day. Now, we've had more than about 400,000 people who've already voted. The big thing though is from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. on tomorrow is our primary. The only thing that's going to be announced tomorrow are first choice votes. And this is why it's important to understand. We have ranked choice voting. That means of the 11 people that are on the ballot, you get a chance to rank up to 5 people. I want everybody to rank me first. Let me be real clear about that. I want to be your first choice. If for some reason I'm not your first choice, you can then rank me second, third, fourth, or fifth. Now, the way this works is that the lowest vote getter will be eliminated when the simulation happens a week from the election, right? So if you vote for, let's just say Paperboy Prince, and I'm your second choice, or Selma Bartholomew, and I'm your second choice. If you vote for any of those people and they get eliminated, your second choice then gets the vote. So the biggest thing for me for tomorrow is that we want as many first choice votes as possible. But if I'm not your first choice for whatever reason, I want to be your second, your third, your fourth, or fifth, so that we can have a chance to bring this home on tomorrow and on next week.
Yeah, it certainly seems like I'm in California now. I grew up in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I would have been a little bit more tapped into the local New York stuff back then. But at least from my distance, it feels like this primary is generating a lot of attention and enthusiasm in comparison to past ones. Do you believe that that's the case, that we might see more votes than we might otherwise have expected? And if so, why? Is it the fact that there's a number of good progressives running? Is it people are worried about Andrew Cuomo potentially getting reelected? What do you attribute it to?
It's all of the above. Earlier when data was coming out last week, 37% of people who had voted early did not vote 4 years ago. And so that's a massive number of the energy that's happening here. And so we're now in a zone where we're all wondering what happens tomorrow. I think many of us are expecting it's been about 1 million total votes collectively, maybe more. And I think there's a few different reasons. One, you have several great candidates in the race. And we've been telling people about this over and over again. And that's the beauty of ranked choice voting. You do not have to just vote for one. Of course, I want to be your first choice, but you can vote for people. Second, though, is we want to be real clear. Andrew Cuomo has no business being back in office. And I've been saying this throughout. Think about this. During COVID, Andrew Cuomo, his policies were killing people. My policies were feeding people. Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed 13 women. I've been a feminist that's been standing up for women. 2008, I helped to elect and was trained by President Barack Obama. Andrew Cuomo actually said shuck and jive. So we're being real clear to folks right now that you have a choice to change the game. And what we're seeing is that everyone has their different bases all across the city, but it's about how do you actually move the votes in your direction to actually make sure more people are learning about your story. And we do believe that's going to lead to high-end turnout, and hopefully high-end turnout in areas that we want them to come home for us.
You mentioned there about Cuomo's scandals, and like we know that the re-election of Donald Trump, or even the election in the first place, was, it was an unfortunate shock that, I guess you can do this stuff and you can still get a lot of people to vote for you. But at least on some level, I and maybe some of our viewers could tell ourselves, well, that's them. That's Trump and the Republicans. But like, if Cuomo gets reelected after all that's come out, then it's not just Trump anymore. It's been normalized on our side as well. And that really scares me. And I know that you got a lot of attention for a line that you had in the debate where you said of Cuomo, the people who don't feel safe is young women, mothers, and grandmothers around Andrew Cuomo. And he didn't even address it. Apparently, he feels like he doesn't have to. I mean, he's getting endorsements like Bill Clinton. The establishment seems to believe, whatever, doesn't matter if all these women came out with their experiences. And I feel like it would be a really scary precedent if he were to get put back in office with all that we know.
You would essentially be saying to the country, who the hell cares about what you've done? And that's not how it's supposed to be, And look, I was trained by who I believe is the best political organizer we've seen this generation in Barack Obama, where people they were like, where'd this guy come from? And then he won twice, right? If he would have done any of this, and let me take it to another extreme. If Andrew Cuomo was black or brown, he's not even in the conversation, right? And so this is about us saying directly that you have to have people who are saying enough is enough. And to everyone that's listening, everyone that's watching, what I'm saying to you, what several of us are saying to you, is that you deserve better. You deserve to have something different. You deserve to have someone who's actually talking about the policies. And most people can't actually tell you right now why they would be voting for Andrew Cuomo, other than I know his name.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is, you want to talk about affordability? Let's end credit scores for housing applications. You want to talk about public safety? Let's have 1,000 mental health professionals. You want to talk to me about what we do for the kids? Let's have civics financial literacy. You do not have to go back to Cuomo. You can change the game with Michael Blake.
JR?
Michael, I'm glad you came through. You mentioned how you were trained up by Obama and how running a campaign. The things that you say make a lot of sense. It's great. But as we've seen, as with this particular administration that's now in office, how quickly they can implement disastrous and destructive policies for the people. And things that many folks and candidates also say and name when they're running for campaigns and do it well is all these wonderful things. How is it you're able to transition those things that you're saying on the campaign trail and put it into use as a mayor of a city, the way that it can actually benefit people? Because it's really quick for disastrous people like Trump to tear people down. How hard is it to implement all these good things to actually benefit folks?
You gotta have a full squad. Gotta have a full squad rocking with you. Gotta have a full squad, because it's not just about being elected yourself, right? You got to have council members and others that are also on the team who believe in that same vision. And what we're watching right now is that Trump has been able to do his absurdity because of executive orders and because of punk Republicans, right? And so when we talk through what we got to do here, I'm making it clear that the policies I'm laying out and the vision I'm laying out, we can make happen despite Trump. And I'm also making it clear to folks that we can pay for all of this. NYPD had about $1.4 billion of excessive overtime. Claim that back, we could pay our bills. You have about $2 billion of unclaimed fees and fines in New York City, primarily from parking tickets. We can pay our bills. Right now, you have efforts where we should be having property tax reform on Madison Square Garden, and which next year, hopefully the Knicks can finally bring home the chip, right? But that's a whole other conversation for another day right there, right? But it's like, we can do these things and say to folks, you know what? the Trump foolishness is not how we're gonna get down here. And he has been successful because you have a cult-like following around him without people actually checking him. And that's one of the reasons why I keep saying to everybody, you need to have people who have White House, local, and state house experience, and I have all three. And that's the difference in the game.
Exactly. That's one. If that coalition is put in place already for you to be able to activate as soon as it's there, because we saw that's how it's worked. Is he had it ready to go. The destructive policies and destructive people were there. The yes men were nodding their heads for push the button on let's tear this country apart. So I'll always look to see if folks who push in the opposite energy have that same kind of organization already ready to go from campaign or already into office. I'm hoping that that's there. Yeah,
1,000%. And that's the move that we have right now. We want to be real clear to people that this is not just some pie in the sky vision we're trying to give you, right? This is a plan and a vision and how we actually pay for it. Because that's what people wonder right now. People are scared. And you have to be scared, right? You can't be watching what's going on and just think this is okay. Because it's not. It's not in any regard is it okay what's going on in the country right now. You have
oh, sorry, continue. I apologize.
Yeah, you have a man in Donald Trump who is bombing Iran. You can't feel comfortable. And anyone that's out here acting like it's okay, you shouldn't feel okay, right? But what we're saying, real talk, is that you can actually elect people on the ground who are trying to rock with you. And that's what makes me different right here. And that's the reason why from the first debate, everyone from the New York Times and when the New York Times, the Daily News, and the New York Post can all agree on something, that should say something. They all said I was the breakout star of the first debate because we checked Cuomo. It's the reason why we've had more endorsements in the last month than the entire field combined. It's the reason why people are starting to see what we can do. And we're telling folks that tomorrow you get a chance to actually do something powerful. So if you're still deciding on who to rank as your number one, my name is Michael Blake. I want to be your number one. You're still trying to figure out who you're moving around in your rankings. I want to be in your rankings. But if you want to understand that we can actually do this differently, I'm ready to change the game with you. Give us the chance. Specifically on how we can actually have affordability, how you can check Trump, and how you can have public safety without losing our progressive values.
Awesome. Well, it's significantly less than a day until the voting starts. If people would like to find out more about you, your candidacy, where can they do that?
Blake, FORNYC.com. Go to BlakeForNYC.com. If you follow us on X, Blake for NYC and or MR Mike Blake, you'll see the commercial we just dropped, which is the clear contrast against me and Cuomo, or follow us on IG, Blake for NYC, as well as Mike Blake 1922. We want y'all to see what we're saying, and our entire vision is tomorrow begins today. So again, for everybody watching, everybody listening, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's gonna be crazy hot outside tomorrow, so get some water, right? Be prepared. It's gonna be hot. Stay in these lines. And a reminder, rank up to 5 people. I wanna be your first choice. Michael Blake wanna be your first choice. Do not rank Andrew Cuomo. And then be patient, everybody. We're not gonna know who won this thing tomorrow night. But as long as we bring the coalition together, we'll be able to change the game when everything comes out a week from now.
Awesome. Well, Michael, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, and good luck with campaigning.
Much love, y'all. Appreciate you guys.